Hello everybody, this is Surf and Fallen Eagle has come out with a new update. The ModCon is still ongoing as I am recording this video, but I thought the best thing to do now that the thing is just dropped, the new update is just dropped, is to play it and see exactly how I feel about it and show everybody else how I feel about it in the observer only setting. Now let's have a look. Let's have a look at the old map here. What do you say? So we still got our boys here, the Theodosian House, Honorius, and Arcadius, and our favorites. But instead of having like the five start dates here that are incomplete, we only get one, and this one's workable, and it's called the Wrath of the Celts. This is completely sort of reworks everything else that they had going on previously. We've got the Bretons here, we've got the Irish, and we've got the sort of what would you call it? The Northumbrians, I guess. Where they would be in like the 1200s ish. So these guys are the Celts in this regard definitely are going to be given a sort of increased attention. They have been given increased attention in this new world. However, we're going to be playing on this start date. There's nothing sort of different about the two. I don't think. Maybe we'll try it. Maybe we'll try it. We're gonna get over here to observer only. Do everything that we like to do. Look at this loading screen. That's cool. Look at this loading screen. It's even cooler. They have added in other news, they've added West Africa down here, Ghana, the Ghana kingdom being the sort of hegemon so far, but we'll see if they can stay that way. The Sassanid borders have been reworked. Same with the Slavic nations up here. We've got the Magyar Confederation going on, and we'll see if they do what they historically do or they'll stay in place. Also, the Baltic nations have gotten a rework. Kind of frozen. All right, here we go. We've got the Livonia, Courland, Prussia has been sort of resized, Lithuania, and I think I said this before. The Sassanids have got their borders trimmed to a more historically accurate versions. The Huns have got their territory sort of increased among more historically accurate versions as well. Also, in terms of sheer map change, there was a flood that happened in the 1200s, the flood of St. Mary, and that sort of reformed the lowland country coastline. But this is, of course, before that, so this is some sort of what would you call it? Pre local apocalypse borders, land borders. It's something you learn something new every day. Also, in that same vein is the Canal of the Pharaohs, which is right here that connects the Nile here into the Red Sea. Good for them. Good for them. But I think that's about all. I'm looking at my little notes here from the ModCon of what they've added in this new update, and I think I about covered it. Before we get in though, we're gonna see faiths, and they've completely changed it. They've added Hellenic much more, Celto-Hellenic, Macedonian is its own religion. Oh, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. They've got its own thing here. It looks like they've gotten rid of the Druidism part and replaced it with this Celto-Hellenic sort of thing. And there's the Brythonic over here. And I'll read into that once we get into the game. In terms of cultures, we have everything. I think the Briton culture has got a bit more land over here. Romano-British, Romano-Gaelic, Romano-Iberian, Romano-Illyrian, Romano-Dacian, Romano-Thracian, African Romance, Hellenic, Helleno-Egyptian. All your favorites, everyone's favorites. And you know how it is. You know how it is. And then we're gonna be watching the Theodosius clan right here, the Theodosians, because they're two brothers, one Honorius, one Arcadius. And we'll also be watching the Oldenids because that are the Huns. That is the Huns, and we're gonna see if our Attila is able to make it past infancy. In the last video I published, he was not. Attila died at the age of like 3, and so we'll see if he can make it this time around. But with that being said, that's all I have to say. Let's dive right on in, crank it to 5 speed, and run it, and we'll see what happens. In the last time, the Eastern Roman Empire was able to remain more or less intact, and the Western Roman Empire absolutely disintegrated super fast into its principal parts, such as Gallia, Hispania, the Italian, like, whatever this is, the Italian suburbicare. I'm just gonna call it the suburbanate or something. Honestly, that's all I really can do. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. Also, the Hunnic Empire absolutely collapsed into like Sarmatia and its other sort of tributary states. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Western Roman Empire already seeing stuff around the board, rebellions in every corner of their empire. See what the Visigoths do this time. We've got our boy Alaric right here. We'll see if he goes more in a more historically accurate direction instead of doing whatever he did. I think he made it to like Hungary slash Austria and sort of died there by the hand of the Romans. We'll see. We'll see. All right, the West is starting to slowly break apart. We've got in Britain the chiefdom of Manconium. We've got the kingdom of Gallia, and just miscellaneous counties. Hispania has broken free. The kingdom of Hispania. We'll see if they can sort of expand because they've got empire status. No, they don't. They have kingdom status right here. So we'll see if they can't take the rest of it. Usually, Gallia and Hispania, at least in the previous update, will sort of secede in their massive chunks. But not this time, it seems. At least not in this playthrough. But maybe they've adjusted the coding. And either, let's see, either the Germania Superior has been changed to Alemannia, or they have completely been conquered. I think they look like they've been Alemannia the whole time, but I could be wrong. Okay, so I've been looking into it, and sort of the Celto-Hellenics and the Hellenics are the ones that are still doing the Greek and Roman god thing, while the vast majority of the Roman Empire has converted to Nicene, or like basically Catholicism. Meanwhile, we have Pictish, the unreformed sort of Druid faith. There's three of them. There's Brythonic, Pictish, and Gaelic are the sort of Druid, completely untouched by any other religion sort of types of people. And so we'll see if they can hold on. Any one of the three can hold on. Brythonic looks like it's on its deathbed, though. We'll see how it all goes. Maybe and Ireland has been penetrated by Pictland. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. The Italian suburbanate has been got its freedom. Got its freedom. We'll see. The Hunnic Empire has also completely collapsed. Let's check in terms of houses. Did they just lose it altogether? The Oldenids? Are the Oldenids just gone? I guess so. Let's check. Yeah, they're just not around. They're just not here. They've been taken out of the running. Poor Attila. He's never gonna have his day in the sun. Fun fact though, Stilicho, the house of Stilicho, this guy was like, he was of Goth origin, I think, and he was one of the emperor's most sort of trusted advisors slash generals, and he was very relevant in the dealings with Alaric. Septim Provence, or Provence, Septim Provence has gotten its own independence. They've also reclaimed, the Western Roman Empire has reclaimed all territory in Iberia, though they've lost Africa. Eastern Roman Empire remaining pretty much intact this entire time. Good for them. Alba has been formed through Pictland. Oh no, they haven't. Through the Gaels. The Gaels conquered Ireland, or they've conquered the entirety of Pictland. Good for them, I guess. And they've also got some. They're fighting the Western Roman Empire down here. They're kind of losing, but you know, we'll see. So a couple changes, such as Legio and Tarraconensis getting their independence, such as Belgia Secunda, Lugdunensis Sinonia. That's some complicated words right there. Also, getting pretty crazy. Hellenic has sort of been sort of wiped out, unfortunately. We've got some things going on here. Hellenism here in these three places and on this island over here. I don't see it anywhere else. But we also got, in terms of heresies, the Lollards came and went. We've still got Arianism over here, Adamites in the Ukraine slash Crimea, and Apostolics over here in this place. These two, Georgia and Anzawatsi. We also got the Hunnic Empire, who seem to have converted to Germanic for some reason. Okay, but pretty fun, pretty fun. What is this? Germanic paganism? Have the raids started? Oh no, the Western Roman Empire has taken Pictland, and what would you call this? I'm blanking. Ulster. Yeah, Theodosian. He's still here. Emperor Honorius. He's 51, and Arcadius is still here. He's 58, but he's changed to Theodosian Salimbria. So let's check that out. Theodosian Salimbria. Is Salimbria just regular old Salimbria a place around here? It doesn't appear to be. But Constantine has the Constantine family has gotten Africa, so that's something to keep an eye out for. Carthaginensis. Carthaginensis. Okay, I think I got it right the first time. Also broke free. Pictland is back under home rule. It's gonna be good. Hopefully the Pictlands can save Ireland before it becomes full Nicaean. We'll see. I'm very much have a soft spot for the Druids. I don't know if you can tell. I'm rooting for the Druids. We'll see what they can do. 444, and the Eastern Roman Empire is starting to experience its own small-scale collapse. Just similarly as the Western Empire did in the very beginning of this not playthrough, the beginning of this observer only. Beginning of this game, I think that's the best way to say it. And we'll see if they go the same way, starting with these small places right here, slowly reclaiming them, and then absolutely exploding into the sort of their more principal parts. We'll see. Mumu has taken Scotland and the majority of Ireland. We'll see if they can keep it. There's Pictish is now been completely occupied by the Gaelic. We'll see how long that goes, if at all. Looks like Connaughta is also taking advantage of this. Same with the High Chiefdom of Fortriu, also a Pict. We'll see how it goes. Eastern Roman Empire still hasn't taken care of their sort of problem yet. Their secession problem, rather. Prussia looking okay. They used to have they used to have the land from the Jutes, the Jylland right here, but they've since lost it. At this point in history of 468, Ireland has been unified under these guys, which I think is I don't know. I can't tell you where these guys came out of. Oh, yes, I can. Yes, I can. It's Mumu. Mumu is the ones that did it. High Chiefdom of Mumu. All right. Good for them. They've unified. They've unified. Let's look at duchies and see. Yeah, right here. Basically, Munster sort of area right there. In terms of everything else that's going on in the world, aside from the Roman bits around the year 500, just before 30 years before, we got Gupta sort of being the hegemon of the Indian subcontinent. We got appearances from Kumania and Mongolia over here. The Rouran Empire has sort of collapsed in on itself, and Ghana and Maurya being the sort of two hegemons of Western Africa. Aksum is over here in East Africa doing their thing. In terms of religions down here, Coptic is unopposed, I guess. Everything else is sort of not able to compete in terms of its size. Today, currently today. However, something could happen. The year 508 in the Western Roman Empire has completely fallen apart. In the Eastern Roman Empire, this is what everything looks like. Alba and Eriu have sort of branched out from one another. The Western Roman Empire is at its direst straits ever. In terms of houses, this has been the House of Theodosian has become the House of Theodosian Mediolanum, while the Eastern has become the Theodosian Celumbria, as stated previously. But it's cool to see that they've gone the same way as the Eastern Roman Empire has. Pretty good. Pretty good. Francia has come out and is now sort of making the situation in the British Isles even more confusing, which is I don't even know how to say it. It's just politics, I guess. Francia has turned into Gallia. Let's see if that's a upgrade or a downgrade. Let's see, kingdom titles. Gallia is an upgrade in compared to Francia, but Francia wasn't even there in the first place, unless it's like somewhere in counties, but I doubt it. Yeah, it's not really there, unfortunately. Oh, now Francia's back. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? They're both kingdoms, Francia and Gallia, under the Francia. Okay, okay. Francia is the kingdom, but Gallia is something else completely. Who can say? 516 Visigothica is here. They've really come to their own. They've gotten their independence, and Eastern Roman Empire is back to being completely fractured. Can you believe it? And I've just noticed while all of the major powers, let's look at the houses. We've got the ball things right here, ha, with Alaric. Starting with Alaric, we got the Theodosians. We got the Valentinians now instead of the Stilicos down here. We've got the Constantinians, as I've stated previously, when they had all of Africa. But now the Justinians, or the Constantinians, are also over here too. Are they completely different? They are completely different. There's two House of Constantinians and two houses of Justinians. Wow, completely different. Honestly, I don't even know what to say. They're both of Roman descent, so who can say which one's the real one? It's a sort of we'll see we'll see who survives towards the end when I end this thing in about what, like the year 860, when ooh, the Justinians, a third house of Justinian just took all of whatever, all of this, the Septum Provenche, you know, as you do. Also, the Flavian house has taken the rest of, or has taken the kingdom of Francia. Flavians being one of the most ancient families in Rome. Now, also, these guys have just lost, the Theodosians have just lost the Western Roman Empire. Now it's under a house. Let's look at them, which I don't know of currently. And they're Roman though. They are Roman. So that's something to note. 547 and things continue to be an absolute mess. Prussia though is doing something weird. Look at them. They've got sort of the entire almost sort of the entirety of the South Baltic. Like if they had this county right here, they'd have basically all of the what would you say? The Southern Baltic. We'll see what's going on here. I was hoping that the Alba Iriu alliance would push downward. However, that hasn't been happening. However, Scotland and Ireland are purely sort of Druid, though the Pictish have sort of gotten their um, have united over there sort of shared religion, and the Pictish religion is far from what's real. Discord going off. I need to mute that. My bad. It's unprofessional. So over the course of this entire game, and as the Western Roman Empire was collapsing in on itself, they haven't. They've just, in terms of expansion, have just gone into Germania. They've just been forced sort of northeastward down into Germania over here. Now we only have about 300 years left. So let's see how it goes. It looks like Western Roman Empire is sort of reclaiming Britannia. They're doing well against the Frankish, as it seems. We'll see how it goes. Keep an eye on it. We have about 300 years left. We'll check in with you around that time. Persian Empire is here. Ruthenia is here. You know the boys. You know everyone loves them. Everyone knows them. They're one of the best out there. They're the best around. 595, and the Irish and the Scottish, the Pictish rather, have switched places. All of the Scottish land has become Gaelic in religion, whilst all of the top liege's faith in Ireland is Germanic. Did I read that right? They're Germanic. I was wrong. They didn't. So Pictish is just gone. Kind of. Kind of. They're currently all this. We got Pictish up here. Okay, the top liege's faith is Germanic paganism. That's absolutely wild. We still got Apostolic here, Adamites here. That seems to be the only thing in terms of Christian other denominations. You know, Nicene is basically one out. You know. It'd be cool if some of the major vassals, like the people who get Gallia, Hispania, Septum Provence, I don't know how to pronounce it, started out as like different things. I think they might, some of them might, but maybe shake it up, make Nicene maybe a little less of a hegemon, unless it's absolutely historically accurate that way. You know, the 750s, only 100 years out from where I am ending the game, and everything's still a mess. What do you know? Everything still continues to rise and break apart. The only consolidating factor here, however, is religion, in which Nicene has sort of completely taken over. Orthodox is here, and I have no idea when these guys showed up. Orthodoxy is just here, and it seems like it's here to stay. We got some Coptic nations over here in the Eastern Roman Empire, what was the Eastern Roman Empire. You got this some unreformed desert faith over here, and Coptic is doing quite well. The Rabbaites in modern day Yemen are gone, unfortunately for them, and Ireland has completely been consolidated into the Nicene faith. Uh, Scotland up here being the last bastion of unreformed druidic faith, unfortunately. But on the national scale, everything looks quite horrible. Absolutely horrendous. Sorry to hear about it. And these guys, formerly I'm blanking, the Sassanids, are moving into previous Byzantine land and working their way around the Arabian Peninsula. Ireland has been more or less unified for the most of this game. And in terms of cultures, this Roman, they lost their territory up here that was mirroring Brandenburg right here. You know, so they've lost some territory there. But other than a complete shift in who's ruling the Western Roman Empire, the Western Roman Empire is mainly was able to hold the test of time. I didn't expect it. I thought they'd completely die, but that's not the case. Sheeland looking good in the Germanic regions over here. Lithuania is up here in modern day Sweden. There are two Livonias I see of Livonia. That's happens sometimes. Oh, and Alania is here. The Alans were another sort of nomadic group that came in through like barbarian invasions. So it's actually good to see them sort of doing what they did historically. Not exactly in the right place, but it's the thought that counts. They're I can accept them for who they are. There's two kingdoms of Dacia, and Maxima Caesarensis is here. It's a duchy, and it's being a thorn in the side of the Western Roman Empire. Pretty cool. 8:20. This might be my last update before the end date of the video, so I just wanted to show you what it's all looking like. We've got Livonia all over here. Western Roman Empire continues to cheat death in all sorts of ways. The former Sassanids are continuing to inch their way through the Arabian Peninsula. And in terms of religion, let's check it out. Nicene and Orthodoxy have basically taken over the British Isles, leaving these northern isles themselves being the last of the unreformed Druids. Iceland is nothing. It's absolutely nothing. It's not even here. It's come to think of it, it's not even there. It's an illusion. Iceland never existed. Come to think of it, who remembers Iceland? Anyone ever been to Iceland? I haven't. I think that just goes to show a little something. Maybe things aren't what we thought they were. You know. All right, here we are at 8:50. Western Roman Empire passed the vibe check. They're still here, and these lands in particular, absolutely horrendous. The first two sort of seceded territories from the Western Roman Empire also stood the test of time as well. Septum Provence and Italia, the Italian Suburbanate, also survived. No remnant of the Eastern Roman Empire survives, however, and none of the Theodosian sort of families survive in power either. Something to think about. We do have the Valentinians in Italy. We have the Justinians here in like Switzerland and Stuttgart, not Stuttgart, like Baden-Württemberg is what I was looking for there. The Flavians sort of separated everywhere. The Flavians now running Rome itself. So Romans governing Romans, as all that goes. No clear sort of winners, maybe except for the Middle East, where the former Sassanids are there and continuing to expand. In terms of Africa, Coptic is sort of taken over in East Africa, while Nicene has pushed itself all the way down in West Africa. Orthodox is the religion of the Slavs, as it is sort of in our timeline, sort of, kind of, sort of. while the Coptics sort of have their own little exclaves all the way up here. The Coptics have taken the majority of Greece, or the northern bit of Greece. Down here is still Nicaean. It's a little hard to tell the difference there. In terms of Druidism, unreformed Druidism, that is all gone. There's some Adamites right here battling it out with some Orthodox faiths. Germanic paganism is only remains here up in this northernmost island right here, the Northern Isles, if you can believe that. And yeah, let's take a look at cultures. We still got Gaelic and Pictish. Everything else has remained pretty much the same throughout. I guess the biggest change would probably be Rome in all of like southern Germany and Hungary, Slovakia, Czech Republic sort of area. So that's pretty much all we got. If you like this video, don't forget to like, favorite, subscribe. I'll definitely do more of this. Do more of these total conversion videos and updates as soon as they come out, and I will see you next time, man.